Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah, we'll never be alone, Savannah.
Chapter Prologue. I was standing in a queue at the shopping mall, with a lottery ticket in my hand. You've won the consolation prize, it's a pack of tissue, here you go. I got this lottery ticket while I was shopping, and even though I knew I wouldn't win anything, I queued up to redeem my ticket. People in front of me kept getting the consolation prize one after another. A list on the side with all prizes caught my eyes. Consolation prize, tissue. Item coupon, 100 yen mixed sweets, the latest smartphone hot spring vacation for 2 people, 1, ? Following the order of prizes, it's logical for the first prize to be an overseas vacation or something along the line. It's placed higher than the hot spring vacation after all. As I tried to figure out what the first prize could be, the queue got smaller in front of me. Ding ding ding. I heard a bell ringing. Looked like the guy in front of me won something. Congratulations, it looks like you have won the first prize. Yes, I did it. The guy who won made a triumph pose. Well then, we will give you more details about your prize, so please follow me inside. Alright. He was then led by the staff inside the store. It was my turn now. What comes after the first prize? The staff has put a big cross mark at the first prize using a magic pen. I've lost the first prize even before I could redeem my ticket. Well, never mind. It looked like there is still that smartphone available. Didn't sound too bad. After I gave my lottery ticket to the staff, I started spinning the lottery machine. Gara gara gara. Goto, 1. Ding ding ding. The staff rung the bell once again. I've won? Seriously? I was shocked. Never before have I ever thought of winning something. I looked at the ball that came out of the lottery machine. It was painted in the color of the rainbow. I turned my head into the direction of the premium prize list to see what kind of prize this would get me. The first prize came with a golden ball, the second prize with a silver one, the third with a red ball, and the fourth and fifth prize respectively came with a blue and yellow ball. The prize for a rainbow-colored ball was nowhere to be seen. What prize do I get with this? I gave the staff a questioning look, while holding up the ball. This is the hidden prize. Congratulations, you have won a great hidden prize. So there is something like that. The people around me started to clap. As I looked around, well then, we are going to give you more details about the hidden prize. Please go inside. Sure. The staff lead me inside the lottery booth. I was excited. What kind of details are they going to explain to me? Is it such a big prize needing further explanations? When I got inside, I saw the man who won the first place earlier. They have prepared another slot machine as well. The man from earlier pulled the trigger and 2 balls came out of the machine. It seems to be tentacles. Is this a usable skill by any chance? Yes, you are correct. Great. I will begin the transfer now. I didn't understand a single word. Transfer. What were they doing? What was going to happen? I should get the answer right away. A bright light suddenly burst out of nowhere and a glowing pattern which looked like a magic circle was formed on the ground where the man was standing. The man then disappeared. What just happened? And you are? I won the hidden prize. Oh, is that so? I am sorry. The staff took a bow. Congratulations on your win from me as well. I shall explain you the prize in detail. Oh yeah, for the premium prize, just like the man who won the first prize earlier, you have the privilege to teleport to any world of your choice. Excuse me, what did you say? You have the privilege to teleport to any world of your choice. This isn't a bad joke, right? You saw with your very own eyes what happened earlier, didn't you? Said the staff, and I gasped in disbelief. No way, some kind of light and magic circles came out of nowhere, and a man just disappearing in a blink of an eye. Certainly this can't be true. This was our transfer array. We used this to teleport you to any world you can imagine of. You are kidding me? Well, you will have to experience it for yourself, and whether you believe it or not, but it is the very truth, the staff said patiently. Slowly I began to believe what the staff member was telling me. The first and the hidden prize are essentially the same. You get to visit any world you desire. However, the difference between the prizes is that the first prize winner can only pull the machine once. He has to take whatever skill that come out the machine. On the other hand, the hidden prize winner can pull the trigger as many times as he wants, to get the skill he fancies most. As many times as I want, you say? Yes, but you can only take one skill to be precise. I understand. I didn't understand it really, but just simply nodded to the explanations. As you have unlimited tries, how about give it a go once, and since this room lies in another dimension you can try out your skill as well. TL, Hanban Izukai, trying to look up for better translation. I will give it a try then. Yep, I still didn't get it, but I'll just accept his invitation and give it a try. I grabbed the handle of the slot machine and pulled it down. A ball came out instantly and the staff took it. Fire-blowing man, he read. Looks like it's a skill that lets you breath fire out of your mouth. Fire? Just try it out. But please do not face toward my direction. It seems to be a kind of dangerous skill. I turned around at once, and let out a strong breath. Somehow, fire really did come out of my mouth. My face felt a little bit frizzled. How was it? Did you take a liking to that skill? No, wait, just give me a second. I put my hand on my forehead, and started to think about it. My thoughts were a mess and I was still confused, but I was certainly sure of one thing. You said this is all real, right? I can fully understand that you still have doubts, the staff said. And you said, I can pull the handle as many times as I want, am I right? Yes, please go ahead. Are there any chances that I get the same skill once again? Yes, all right. I nodded, as there were possibilities of getting the same skill over and over again. Trying out a lot of skills might be a good idea. Gara gara gara. Goto, this is 10x power up. It's a skill to raise your overall strength by 10 times. That's so plain. Once again, gara gara gara. Goto, Sage, a skill that lets you be all-knowing. Sounds like it's going to be troublesome. Another try. Gara gara gara. Goto, don't tell me this is. From the name alone this skill is no good. Again, gara gara gara. Goto, 2x power up. It became worse. Again, gara gara gara. Goto, I'm sorry, this time it's a skill to increase your overall strength by 3x. Never mind. Once more, gara gara gara. Goto, gara gara gara. Goto, gara gara gara. Goto, I pulled the handle of the lottery machine again and again and again. After I heard the skill description, I pulled the handle to get a new skill right away. Sure, there were some skills that looked usable. But the more skills I saw, the more I got to think that the previously won 10x power-up is not the big prize. There must be something bigger. My hand ran out of strength. Same goes to me. I'm tired explaining. Countless balls, countless skills. After I have pulled hundreds of skills, I knew just by looking at the color of the ball if I got something big or not. Gara gara gara. Goto, gara gara gara. Goto, gara gara gara. Goto, oh, a rainbow-colored ball. It's the second time now. What's with that? There weren't supposed to be any rainbow-colored ball inside this slot machine. The staff was surprised as I showed him the rainbow-colored ball. Mister, this is really wonderful. Wonderful? What did I get? Overall strength increase by 777 times. I was greatly shocked when I looked at the rainbow-colored ball, to the point that it looked dazzling to me. Chapter 1, _OPI_. Chapter 1, Meeting with Princess. That skill is nice. Ah. I nodded. It's the result of spinning the lottery machine for several hundred times, and the content. There is no other acceptable skill other than this one. I understand. Well then, I will begin the transfer now, but before that, there is one last explanation that I need to tell you. What? If you want to return back to this world, all you have to do it wish to return daily. However, do bear it in mind that once you have returned to this world you can no longer go to the other world again. I got it. Well then. After the staff told me so, light began to appear under my foot and the magic array appeared. It was the same scene like the man who won the first prize earlier. I was engulfed by the light completely, and everything before me turned white. When my field of vision came back, I was already in a place that was alien to me. I was in a forest where the sunlight was filtered by the forest trees' foliage. Am I already in the other world? I looked at my surrounding. Suddenly seeing myself in the open field is sure shocking. Another world, huh? Though I said that I don't really know, now that I think of it, my skill is 777x overall strength power up, was it? Something is rising, or so I thought. Well, it's an overall strength power up, so supposedly raising strength in all aspect is to be expected. For the meantime, I will give it a try. I squat a little, accumulating all of my strength in my legs in an attempt to jump. Unintentionally I let out a scream. It was because I was only thinking of doing a small jump, but instead, as if I was a launched rocket, I flew upward. My head hit on the tree as I get to the top. Breaching through, I flew up at once. The ground is quite far away. If I were to give it an estimation, I jumped more than 10 meters. My strength really is. I took notice of something from far away. Also I realized that my eyesight power had become a lot better too. Outside of the forest, I saw a carriage. Surrounding the carriage, there are men who looked like knights protecting it. It looked like they are being attacked by a group of people who wore a completely different appearance from the knight. On the protecting side, there are 3 people who still standing while the other 2 had fallen, although it was quite hard to identify what had happened to those who had fallen on the ground. It seemed like their blood spread from their lower body. On the attacking side, just by giving it a quick glance I was able to determine their number are more than 10 people. Are they being attacked? Who? After I made my landing, I immediately went to the direction of the attacked carriage. My legs had also become quite fast, surpassing the feeling of cutting through the wind using bicycle. It feels more like cutting through the wind riding a motorcycle. I got out from the forest at once and went straight to where the carriage was. Just give it up. There is no one that going to help you in a place like this. The protecting side only have 1 person left. Yep, it has been confirmed. The line in style. It's a half-ass villain words. Without hesitating, I went on my way and give them a helping hand. But what should I do? In time of emergency I realized, what should I do? It is true that my overall strength had experienced a power up. Frankly speaking, I did play baseball a little bit when I was a little kid, but I don't have any experience in martial arts. I don't know any moves to attack people. For the meantime I'll just hit away, remembering about the backup player in baseball trying to rush to home base that I once saw in television. I tackled the man who spew out the half-assed villain line. This was not a gag manga. However, the man who was hit by the rebound flew several tenths of meters. You, who the fuck are you? You, what on earth? The attacking side was surprised too. Well, it can't be helped. Even I would be surprised if there are people who would suddenly appear with such a strong wind. But anyhow, I'm glad that I came to their rescue. As expected, the attacking side is a foul-mouthed bunch of bandits. On the other hand, the defending side are wearing armor with moon crest, and their way talking are those of a knight. Looked like I saved the right side. Hey, who the hell are you? The bandit who was frightened are everyone, though I think I hold back a little bit. Did a lot of them get blown away? You saved us. The knight who looked like the leader of their group put away his sword and expressed his gratitude to me. My name is Fortist. My name is Yuki Keikoyu. As explaining it in kanji would be difficult, calling me Keikoyu would be just fine. Kanji, is it? No, it's nothing. Just call me Keikoyu. Looking for Fortis reacting. I'm guessing that this world does not have kanji writing system, because we started conversation normally, so I brought the thing about kanji normally. TLN, Jeb, when they introduce themselves, they would usually explain how their name are written in kanji. Fukamura, Fu, wind, ki, energy, Mora, village, etc. I see. Thanks to Keikoyu donor help, we were saved. I dare not to imagine what would happen if you didn't come to our assistance. The only standing man were me and Fortist. Before I came, in Fortis party 2 man was defeated and the enemy are left with more than 10 people, even though the knight that was defeated before had begun to regain their footing by now. Honestly speaking, though they can stand, they are not in shape for battle. If they kept on going like that, certainly I wonder what would have happened indeed. Fortist. A voice came out from inside the carriage. It was the voice of a beautiful young lady. Yes. The curtain. As your wish. Fortis lowered his waist hurriedly and pulled up the carriage's curtain. From the inside, there was a woman coming out. Unconsciously I let my voice out. She was so beautiful that I exclaimed unknowingly. Wearing a pure white dress, she had a tiara on her head, pointy ears with long golden hair. Also, with overflowing elegant conduct, The young lady took Fortis' hand and get herself down from the carriage and afterwards stood before me. My name is Helena Thresia Mercury, the third princess of Mercury Kingdom. My name is Keiko. Wait, I think I've said it earlier. She was so beautiful that I was left stunned. I bet she had already heard my name when she was inside the carriage earlier. Regardless, I still reintroduce myself. Thank you very much, Keiko-sama. Princess Helena expressed her gratitude with a very serious look. No, it's nothing. I didn't do anything great. I was flustered. Out of every woman that I had seen in my entire life, Helena is the most beautiful one. I was charmed by Helena. Normally, I would invite Keiko-sama to the royal palace and repay your kindness with our utmost hospitality. However, we are on our way heading to the front line. However, I will surely repay Keiko-sama kindness. Helena pulled out her hand. She handed over the thing that she held on her palm over to me. I thus received it. I've seen this thing before. It was a folding fan with a splendid crest painted on it. The folding fan that she held just now was filled with warmth and has a good fragrance to it. Please by all means visit me whenever you come to the royal palace. Show it to the guard and we will be informed. Fortis explained further. I looked at Helena admiringly as she got inside the carriage again. The two knights who were somehow able to move began on continuing their travel with Fortis. I, who was left alone, was left to Lou for quite a while. She was really a beauty, though I murmured that, saying it in past tense is still not quite right. After the young lady carriage was no longer visible within my vision was when I finally able to move my head, understanding something. Chapter 2, Hunting and Exchanging for Money. I reached the town. It was a fairly developed town when I decided to went on my way opposite to Princess Helena direction. It was a western-styled town where it was surrounded by stone wall. It was as if it was there for the sake of fighting and also for the sake of defending. Anyhow, it was one way or another. As I walked near to the town's gate, an armed soldier asked me to halt. There were two soldiers. They were equipped with a simple armor and a long spear. Halt, from where do you come from? Asked me. One of the soldier asked me with his spear pointing onto my direction. Even if you asked me where I came from, I hesitated. Even if I tell them that I came from Japan, they won't probably know such place. Why are you not answering? Wearing a weird clothing. What a suspicious guy. Certainly that had incurred my wrath. I realized that I am overall unique. But just because I wore a different set of clothing, that doesn't mean that I'm suspicious. But I wonder, do I really look suspicious? Well, apart from the soldiers who was wearing armor, the clothing that I wore looked a little bit different from the public that was throwing a glimpse on me from inside the town. The first people that I saw were only the princess, knights and the bandits, and afterwards I met these two soldiers. That's why I haven't realized that the clothing that I wore is very different from the public bunch. Now then, what should I do? If you are not answering, then we will have to apprehend you. Wait, look at that. One of the soldier came forward to apprehend me, however the other one told him to stop. The soldier who asked the other soldier to stop said so as he pointed out to my waist area. What the heck was it about? Or so I thought. But what was on my waist was the folding fan that Princess Helena gave me. I put it away in my pocket, thus the lower part of the folding fan was visible sticking out from my pocket. About this fan? I took out the fan and spread it open. And then the prestigious crest was visible. That is the royal crest. Moreover, it's a folding fan. Does it mean that is Princess Helena's folding fan? However, Princess would never bestow something like that very easily. Before, there was a Marquis knight who had done a meritorious deed in the war, and he had asked for the fan but he was never bestowed with it. That is how hard it is for Princess Helena to grant something, or so the rumors that I heard said. But, however, the soldiers were whispering to themselves, if what they had said earlier to be the truth, then it looked like I go myself something amazing. I stared at the folding fan, thinking about the time when I was bestowed with this folding fan, and about the person who granted it to me. Princess Helena, excuse me, can we testify it to see if it's the real thing or no? What should I do? Pardon me. After that the soldier put his hand high on top of the fan and recited something. Then along with pale light emerging, the crest was coated with light making it look like 3D. We are very sorry, please do proceed on your way. looked like they somehow managed to confirm its legitimacy. The soldiers who were looking very sorry put away their spear and stand in attention position. "Welcome to Oisen Town," was what they said. I passed through the entrance gate. I wonder if it was because of the commotion that we made earlier. But it looks like all the people who was near the entrance gate had their eyes on me, looking very curious. That is Princess Helena. It was the real deal, it seems. Does it mean that Princess Helena has an intimate relationship with that person? I wonder if he's a new royalty. As my hearing ability was raised 777 times too, I can clearly what all the onlookers had been saying. It's good if all of it are good things. But there are some bad things too: clothing, food, shelter, the fundamental things that you need in order to live. For clothing, the one that I wear right now should do it, one way or another. But I do need to get myself a new one sooner or later. The problem now is food and shelter. The solution for that too is having money. In short, I must earn myself some money. What should I do in order to do that, was what I was thinking to myself. Move away, clear the path. Behind my back, there were a group of people of 4 riding a carriage passing through me. Behind those 4 people there were 2 wagons with 2 giant beasts loaded. The beasts were chained tightly. It weren't able to move. I don't know if it's still alive or dead. The group stopped in front of a certain building. They then drove the carriage inside the building one by one. "Yoshua, after we got the money, let's go drink. It has been a while. Tonight I'm going to drink to my heart content." After they said that they gone off to somewhere, just now, are they turning the beast in for money? Wanting to know for myself, I head towards the building and entered it. Inside the building, there was the group who entered earlier trying to get the beast on the wagon down. There was one man who was commanding them. I made my way to the man who was commanding. "Excuse me, what is it? Can you sell the beast that you hunted?" Cutting off the chase, I asked directly to the point. "Yeah, if you hunt this mountain cow you can get yourself considerable amount of money." "Mountain cow? Is this a cow?" I said as I looked at the beast. Certainly, looking at its appearance it do look like a cow. With a long mane and sharp tusk it do looked considerably ferocious. Frankly speaking, it doesn't look anything like herbivore, more like a carnivore sort of beast. "Are you alone?" "Don't take it bad, but if you don't have more manpower then you better give up thinking of hunting this beast. To take down this beast alone need 4-5 experienced people. If it's inexperienced then 5-10 people, if not then it would be very dangerous." "Is that so?" "Yeah. The meat is absurdly delicious but hunting it would be very dangerous. For the meantime, can you tell me where can I find such beast?" I said, asking for location. The man kept on reminding me that hunting the beast down without cooperators would be very dangerous. Well, in exchange, the price mountain cow would sell very high. I got a map from the man. Following the map I exited the town. Mountain cow seems to appear at the grassy plain, near the neighborhood where the mountain could be seen. "Ah, is that it?" I located the mountain cow at the distant remote place. To be precise, I saw a bunch of people hunting down the mountain cow. It was a group of 6 people. 3 people act as the vanguard while the other 3 works as the rear guard. There's already people before me. Looks like I have to find for another. Thinking so I left the scene and began searching for a new target, but Jobu, shit, how dare you do this to Jobu? Stop it, don't make any bad move. From the voice that I heard, things doesn't seem to be in their favor. Stop moving and concentrate. Afterwards the scene of where the mountain cow began retaliating towards the hunting group one by one could be seen. Not long after, the vanguard had fallen and the mountain cow directed its wrath towards the rear guard. The rear guard who was being aimed at cowards. Chi. Clicking my tongue, I rushed out, covering the distance of 100 meters in a split second. I tackled the mountain cow. The mountain cow was blown away, but it stood up once again. As expected, this mountain cow is even more sturdy than a human. I went on pursuit. Even more, I went down on throwing punch on both sides of the mountain cow's side. It was a normal punch, however, it was quite a splendid set of punch. The mountain cow was sent spinning to the air, and was not able to stand up any longer after that. I put the mountain cow on my shoulder and went back to the town. It was surprisingly light, or maybe it felt very light to me because of the power-up skill that I got. Ah, don't tell me, did you do it all by yourself? Yes, it was surprisingly easy, impressive. Ah, this is As the man said admiringly, he brought out a sack and gave it to me. Inside the sack were silver coin which I've never seen before. As the bag was pulled out quite quickly, maybe the market value of this mountain cow are equal to the amount of silver coin that I got. Hey you, do you think you can turn in the cows regularly? If you can, then I will increase the price that I sell to you by 10%. Somehow he gave me quite a good deal. Regularly by how much? Every 2 days, if possible every day. I got it. I'll try my best. Thank you for the help. I gave a slight bow and leave the place. For the meantime, I got myself an easy job, and got myself on some money. After that, I looked up to the sky, without knowing it was already evening. First, I need to find a place to sleep tonight. Chapter 3, Buying a House. I who have entered an inn, decided to calculate the earnings that I've made. I put the money sack on the built-in table and spread out all the money. All of the silver coin that I got are the same in appearance. There was a majestic-looking king carved on it. When I do the counting, all the silver coin that I got was amounted to 99. As I used 1 silver coin to pay for the inn rent, the value of that mountain cow would be exactly 100 silver coins. Well, that is good at all. But just how much value does 1 silver coin represent actually? I picked up 1 silver coin and examined it and gave the room that I rent survey afterwards. There was nothing unusual. It's just your average lodging place it seems. If this were Japan, an overnight stay would cost you about 5,000 to 10,000 yen. So in short, I earned about 500,000 to 1,000 yen by killing 1 mountain cow, if my calculation is correct. It's a very good thing. Well, even if it's not correct, for 1 mountain cow I can live in this inn for 100 days. I recalled the time when I hunted the mountain cow down. I made a huge profit by doing something that is so easy. I should hunt more of this mountain cow in the future. Thinking so, I went to sleep early. The following day, I walked the same path that I used yesterday where I located the mountain cow at the grassy plain. I met 1 mountain cow being hunted down. I don't know which mercenary nor group they came from, but all of them wearing the same set of armors and weapons. They were striking down the mountain cow. I observed them for a while. Well, if it's became just like yesterday when they couldn't handle it, then I will go on my way and hunt it. But it didn't end like that. It took them about 1 hour, but they finally beat down the mountain cow, resulting with 2 of their members having a minor injury. Carrying the mountain cow, I saw their disappearing figure as they went towards the city direction. Assuming that it would be 1,000 for 1 cow, it will be 100,000 coins for each of them. That amount itself can already be considered as good. But you have to think about the danger. Though for minor injury you will only be needing 1 week of rest, and chances of injury, normally it would be a decent earning, I think. I wander around at the grassy plain, praying that I can see 1 cow as fast as I could as I walked around. After doing that for about 30 minutes, I finally found 1. When the cow noticed my presence, its eyes became bloodshot and its breathing became erratic, and just like that, the cow came charging towards my direction. I evaded the incoming attack and launched a punch towards the attacking cow. Counter punch. My fist met the between of the cow just perfectly and the cow was blown away. It fell onto the ground, and moving no longer. After exhaling a hard breath for a few times, I put the mountain cow on my shoulder and went towards the city to turn it in for money. After that I went back to the grassy plain and wandered around. I met another mountain cow, beat it and turned it in for money, beat it and turned it in for money, beat it and turned it in for money, though I kept doing so quite persistently. Today I've only hunted about 5 mountain cows. Frankly speaking, finding the mountain cow takes more time rather than hunting it down. At the end of the day, I said it to the person who taking the cow in and gave me the money. The people who normally hunt the mountain cow hunt only once a day. This is the first time I hear such comment about hunting them, he said, looking half amazed. Odd enough, I agree with it. Other than sustaining injury, there are chances if you're unable to beat it you will run away. I didn't think of the time taken to take the cow on your shoulder and went back to the city to change it for money, but that doesn't have anything to do with me. Anyway, the earning that I made today is 550 silver coins, just like what the store clerk had said. He increased the payment for the mountain cow by 10%, adding up the earning that I made yesterday and today. Everything totaled to 649 coins. Interpreting it to its maximum possible amount, it would be 649 million yen. This is the place. It was already evening when I reached a store while holding on to a note on one of my hand. When I said I want to buy a house, the man who deals with buying the mountain cow recommended me to go to this place. I opened the door and entered the building. Surprisingly, in the store that was kept clean, there was a middle-aged man with a protruding belly. As the man saw me, he received me with a business-like smile. "Welcome to Samara's firm. Is there anything that I can help you with?" "I would like to buy a house," I said directly. "Leave it to me." "Is it for living purpose or for business purpose?" What flashed in my mind was the consideration for Japan's residential condition. Following the image of my dream house, I said I would like for a house with vast space and a garden. "That would be nice." "Is that so? Then may I know the budget?" "This." The money sack resounded hard as I put it down on top of the table. 649 silver coins. "Is that so?" The man's expression became cloudy. "As I thought, it's not enough?" "No, it's not enough. Last night's calculation it was equivalent to 6,500,000, but if I calculated it poorly it might have half the amount from what I have calculated. If that's so it would be around 3,000,000. With money amounted only to that. To think that I wanted to buy a house with spacious garden. If I were the store clerk, I would be like, "What the heck is this person talking about?" is what I would think. To have his expression to be clouded only just by a little. This man is a splendid businessman. Is it impossible? Apostrophe. Including the spacious of the house into consideration, the price for a normal house would be around 2,000 silver coins. 2,000 coins. 2,000. Is that so? Moreover, as dear customer wished for a house with spacious garden area, it would cost twice than the usual price in this neighborhood. 4,000? 40 mountain cows, huh? There's no problem, but it would take some times. Above all, there is no possibilities for the amount of the mountain cow to increase at once. Even if I hunt more than 5 a day, it would still take more than a week time. If the encounter possibilities are to be bad, it might even take more than 1 month. That is so dull. It's too tiresome. It can't be helped. I will lower down the requirement a bit, but when I was about to do that, "I'm sorry but dear customer, do you have confidence in your skill?" "Skill? Do you mean strength?" "Well, I do have quite the confidence with my strength. Is there anything?" "This sack." "Excuse me." The man turned around to the table where I put the money sack down. There was a mark that I had a collection of. "This is the mountain cow hunting crest of Andrew firm. Seeing that you're using this sack, I made a conjecture the dear customer must have some skill." "I see." I looked at the mark. "That shop, it's called as Andrew?" I think there was a signboard on top of the building's door. I agreed with the man conjecture completely. Probably I myself will look others who have such bags with those thought from now on. "Well then, I don't exactly recommend it to you, but I do happen to know something." "What do you mean?" "Although I only got the hint from the resident of this city, southeast from this city there is a mansion. There seems to be no one living in there. It is also called as the haunted house." The man made a bitter expression. "Haunted mansion?" "Yes, previously it was the mansion of a wealthy merchant. From the rumors that I heard there are no one living in that mansion. Truth to be told, some of our customer went there, but every one of them." "I see." The mansion itself was very well made, and there is no shortcoming regarding the space. If it weren't only for that, the mansion would cost more than 5,000. With this sort of background story, no one wants to live there. You cannot live there. Is the correct way to interpret it actually, dear customer, haunted mansion, huh? I gave it a deep thought. I don't really believe in the existence of spirit phenomena. When watching horror movies, I don't really get scared too. Frankly speaking, I'm the type who can live in the house normally even if the place has a fishy background. I'll worry about it when it actually came out. This is not Japan, but from the way that man talking, perhaps, it will really come out. If there's really a ghost, I'll beat it up. While I was pondering, for the meantime I've it an ear. By the way, the prices? We won't be having much luck with being stingy in this one. For us to sell this one, 100 coins, consider it's sold. I replied immediately. A mansion with a net worth of 5,000 are being sold for 100. It's 98% discount. It's so cheap I cannot find any reason not to buy it at all. Are you really sure with that decision? Apostrophe. Yeah, If the ghost ever come out, I'll beat it to pulp. Being too excited, I said such word. I understand. The man was hesitating for a while, but he changed to his business-like smile in a flash. Thus, I myself had gotten a mansion. If any of them ghost came out, I'll beat them up. My excitement was accompanied with such thought. Chapter 04, Maid's Order. That night, I came to the haunted mansion alone. Normally, at time like this a real estate agent will show me the rope around the area, but Saramas from the real estate company was like, "I'll leave all the minor things to you." He said that to me and left me alone checking the mansion. When I asked him if he had something to do, he said he's going to prepare the contract, making registration at the public office, doing arrangement for the lack of furniture at the mansion. He even answered so in rapid succession. "We can leave such sort of things later, don't we?" I asked again. "To make it so that you can live comfortably as fast as we could is our motto." Well, seeing how fast he evaded the topic of showing the ropes around the area, I guess he must be that much terrified of this haunted mansion. Using the key that I got from the Saramas' firm store clerk, I passed through the front yard and went straight to the mansion's door and opened it. Using the lamp that was given to me, I light up the other lamps inside the mansion from room to room. There were a lot of different rooms amounting to more than 20, including the parlor, living room and bedroom. Although there seems to be no sign of people living in this mansion, the furniture was aligned in one way. As I thought, it ran away. Something is weird, kind of feeling welled up inside me. To the very least, there is no necessity for the furniture to be arranged this way, and the store clerk would at least understand that. As there was a balcony outside, I go up the stairs where there was carpet spread all over while letting out a small laugh. Even though the mansion was located at the outskirt of the city, from the balcony I can see the entire view of city's night scenery. The light was sparse at the heart of the city, but it's beautiful in its own sense. At the same time, you can actually feel the height of this place's rank. This mansion was originally a very expensive property, so for such a scenery must have already been taken into account. It felt good. That night, I spent a quality time enjoying the scenery and took my rest at the most splendid bedroom I could find. I'm not sure either it was due to the bed being very large that I wasn't able to sleep well, but that doesn't seem like the case. The following day, to complete my quota of at least one mountain cow a day, I wandered around the neighborhood. I can hunt more mountain cow and earn a lot more, but as I just got myself a mansion, there are tons of things that I want to do. There are some furniture that I wish to replace too, and I want to get my hands on things that I actually need in my daily necessity. For example, as I cannot get a good sleep, I want to buy a pillow and futon. TLN, surely you know what futon is, right? Well, there are heaps of things that I need, but there is one thing that hold a high importance to me. I would like to hire a maid. I went to the Saramas firm and the store clerk with a worried expression was there. "Maid, is it?" "Yes, a maid." Maintaining that place alone by myself would be impossible after all. "I see, so that was the case." Regarding it being the haunted mansion, is it really that terrifying? Surely not. Saramas flustered a little bit and cleared his throat afterwards. TLN, I'm guessing since it's called Saramas firm so the shopkeeper would be the owner. Saramas, just leave it to me, I will arrange it for you. If I think about it carefully, living in that big mansion alone, not having a maid won't cut it. You can do that too? Of course, dear customer. Saramas seems to be taking a great pride while he was saying so. As he was looking quite differently from before, I decided to tease him a little bit. Are there maids who would be willing to work inside a haunted mansion? Regarding that matter, you don't have to be worried. Saramas had a very serious look on his face. Being surprised as the way he reacted wasn't the way I was hoping it to be made me dumbfounded a little bit. Oh? No matter what kind of house it would be it a house of demon murderer, as long as they got paid, there bound to be one or two people who'd be willing to work as your maid. I see. Then does it mean that it's okay? Certainly so, dear customer. Now then, what kind of maid do you have in your preferences? What kind? Let me see. I gave it a deep thought. I need to find a maid to take care of my mansion, was what I had in mind, but I never really gave it any sort of thought on what kind of maid that I want. Talking about maid, there are capable maid and not so capable maid. A long skirt brazen maid who can complete the given task perfectly. a clumsy mini-skirted maid who keep on failing on every task, crybaby, TLN. In the raw it was full with emotion. Well, take it with a pint of vodka added with salt. Which one is better, TLN? Long skirt one for me, so I can play the root and turn that emotionless brazen maid into a diddy bish. Maid that can do her job properly, I guess. I see, a maid who possesses the talent to become a chief maid in the future, is it? Chief maid, huh? Yeah, I think that's about it. Imagining about it makes me excited a little bit. The maids listen to chief maid orders, and the boss of that chief maid is me. It makes me extremely excited. Well then, I'll be looking for maid with that taken into account. Lastly, yes, between slave maid, butler or a normal maid, which one do you prefer? Slave maid, I replied immediately. That is forgiven as she won't turn on me. To think that they would normally have a slave maid. I see that's how it is. As I was strolling throughout the city, I recalled the last question that Saramas asked me. Afterwards, I exited from the store. As expected, they cannot prepare someone to work right away today, so they will look for it and told me to come again tomorrow. With this, I'm somehow finished with my task of looking for a maid. Now that what is the next thing that I need, was what I thought. But before I knew it I already became a roundworm. TLN, have you ever seen The Shape of Stomach Parasite? I think that was what the author mean by that parable. I randomly entered the nearby store. Near the street corner there are a restaurant that looks quite flourishing. Irashaimasu, welcome to Purozute. An apron-wearing woman greeted me. What would you like to have? Apostrophe. I looked at the inside of the store. There was the menu, but it looked gibberish and I don't understand it at all. I'm not quite sure. Do you have anything that you can recommend to me? Customer, are you a traveler? Do I look like one? Actually, I've recently arrived here, so I am thinking to stay here for a while. I see. Then how about a mountain cow fried rice? It's a famous speciality of this city where the cow meat and rice are cooked, producing a nice fragrance. Usually it is limited to 5 serving, but today we made more. Why did you made more for today? It looks like there's an skillful hunter that had come to this city, so procuring the meat had become stable and easier. It seems that the price for the meat had decreased for a bit. It's a very good thing. Hey, is that so? It was a little bit funny. Probably the person that she mentioned was me. When it was said to me directly like that, it somehow made me feel a little bit funny. Well then, in that case, I ordered the recommended menu. Now that I think of it, I made my earning from hunting mountain cow, but never did once I've eaten the meat of mountain cow itself. Got it, 1 mountain cow fried rice. A big serving. Okay, a big serving at that. The woman left with a big smile on her face and went back inside the shop. After a bit of waiting, she came back with a big plate filled with fried rice. Sorry for making you wait. Whoa. It looked really delicious. By the way, how much does it cost? It would be 10 copper coins. How about this one? As I don't have anything like copper coin, I pulled out 1 silver coin and put it on the table. Silver coin, huh? Is it not enough? No. It's the opposite actually. I wonder if we have enough change to pay you back. Oh, you don't have enough change? It seems that they don't have enough small change. It happens a lot in convenience store too. Well then, with the remaining amount of money, please bring me another recommended dish that you have. Is it okay? Bring me the delicious one. Saying so, once again the woman smiled brightly. She took the silver coin and went back to the shop. I ate the fried rice. Delicious. Though being only a recommendation, it was amazingly delicious. Somehow it got a nostalgic taste to it. Restaurant. No, it got a homely taste to it. When I think of it, the cow meat that they used were really soft and juicy. The moment I bit into it, the umami inside the meat juice was spread out, filling my mouth. I wolfed down the food greedily. As it was really delicious, I finished eating it in no time. Now then, the next recommended dish would come. If it's something that is delicious as this, I'd like to request for the cow meat to be separated. It was such time when I suddenly thought about something. It's bad to save up even more copper coin in this city. With my strengthened hearing sense, my ears caught on something suspicious. Connecting it with the small change matter earlier, I focus my consciousness at the direction of the voice. Chapter 5. Tracking down conspiracy. Collecting copper coin is going to be more and more dangerous soon. I thought so. As the number of copper coin is getting less and less, collecting it would becoming very dangerous. We need to transfer the copper coin that we have now. I'll do the arrangement. I got it. From the flow of the conversation, there were two men who was having a talk. Dear customer, you are. What happened, dear customer? You stared at the door as if you want to eat it. Ah, no, it's nothing. The voice that I heard was from the other side of the door. To put it in simple words, it came from the outside of the restaurant. I'm sorry, I suddenly remembered I had something urgent that I need to do. But the food is, I'll come again. Having said so, I sprang out from the shop. From the midst of various chattering voice, I tried to pick up the voice that I heard earlier. While I was listening to music, there were a lot of noise that came from the music. For example, there's the sound of a drum, and to pick up the noise, I focused solely on the sound of the drum. This is really profitable and all, but it really troublesome. I finally picked up on the voice that I heard earlier. Thus, I chased after the voice. There was the two people from earlier and they are still having their conversation. That was why, when I was chasing after them, I depended on followed their voice. After passing through the alleys for a lot of times, which I can't remember how many, I arrived at the place that was not quite popular. Suddenly the voice became smaller. I wonder if they had entered a building. I looked around. At the back of the alley there are a wide varieties of buildings. I stood in front of one of the building and put my ear on the door. While I was doing the same thing to the fifth door, I finally caught up on the voice of the two men earlier. This is everything, right? Okay, I'm going to transport everything tonight. I will regroup with the others at another city and bring it to the melting furnace location. Hey, how much profit would you think we will make from this? Based on the current market price, when we melt it before selling it, we will yield around twice the profit. That is even more from before, isn't? So you're saying that we're going to yield profit twice that the copper coin that we have here, right? That's how it is. You are. From their conversation that I first picked up earlier, it sounds very dangerous. They're going to melt the copper coin and sell it as a raw material. No matter in what country, it is forbidden to melt the coins that the government had distributed. That sort of thing is a grave crime. I'm thinking to barge in directly, but, giving a close attention to their conversation, it looks like they got a collaborators and business partner too. Even if I take my action now, it would no more than stepping on a gecko tail. I memorized the place and route properly, and left the scene afterwards. This is the place, huh? From the information that I got by asking people around the city, the place that I reached to was the public office. When I asked for something that kind of works like the police, where criminal would be brought upon justice, this is the place where they had directed me to go. Halt, who's there? Just like the first time when I reached this city, an armed soldier said so while having his spear pointed at my direction. Well, that is to be expected. I've made my own preparation too. I pulled out the folding fan that I got from Princess Helena, and showed it to the gatekeeper. I am Princess Helena Envoy. I would like to meet with the person in charge. Princess Helena-sama? Wait, isn't that Princess Helena the royal crest? What's more, it's genuine. Using magic, or at least something like that. The gatekeeper affirmed the legitimacy of the fan, and he acted completely different than what he did just now. Please wait for a while, I shall let them know of your visit immediately. The gatekeeper rushed inside while I waited for a while, approximately around 10 minutes. The gatekeeper came back. Thank you for waiting. Arumo-sama is waiting for you inside. Please make your way. The gatekeeper let me pass through the gate and I made my way inside. Following the lead of the gatekeeper, I arrived at a room where official duties usually take place. There was a good-looking middle-aged man inside the room. When the man realized of my presence, he stood up and had a serious expression. I'm Kefka Arumos. I'm Yuki Keikoyu. That's a name that is quite foreign to me, but what should I call you by? Call me with whatever names you like. Well then I shall call you Keikoyu-sama. You are Princess Helena Envoy, is it true? This is the proof of it. Lying for the second time. I held a little bit of guilt inside my heart but buried it down and showed him Princess Helena's folding fan. This is certainly Princess Helena Thresia Mercury's folding fan. I'm sorry for being rude. I held no intention to doubt you, but as the gatekeeper said it was a man with a weird-looking outfit, so I just need to make sure. That is fine. It was already within my expectation to being doubted. That was why I brought along the folding fan in the first place. Rather than that, I had some important matter to talk about. What matter would it be? There are someone who's collecting copper coin and melting it down. That kind of matter cannot be joking with. Arumo's complexion suddenly changed. Surely incident as this big, that sort of expression that Arumos had right now can be understand. This is not a joke. I told him about the things that I've seen and heard. The matter regarding not enough small change at the restaurant, and regarding the content of conversation that the two men I had followed. I explained it all to Arumos just exactly how it went. I did received a report regarding the decrease of copper coin, since this is a city where a lot of peddlers frequent at, so I thought it was due to flow of business. Since this sort of thing happens, wouldn't it be bad if it's left with no action taken? You're right. By the way, does Princess Helena know of this matter? No, she don't, I said, as I don't know what kind of reaction would the royalty have when they caught wind of this matter. The only thing that I've told the princess that I'm going to find the root of the decrease of copper coin problem, I said, adding a bland lie. Is this so? In any case, we need to do something. Altering the money in any way is a grave crime. We will deal with the punishment after we capture the culprit. That's right. I shall call the troops. Arumos clapped his hand 3 times. Pata pata pata. I could hear the footsteps of the soldier. There were 3 armed soldiers who entered the room. Only 3 people, huh? It won't be enough, but at least it's better than none. At any rate, we need to do something because there are several enemies. Having me alone won't be enough to catch them all. While I was thinking that, catch that man? Huh? Because it was too sudden, I wasn't able to follow what had happened. One of the soldiers caught me and cuffed me from behind. I'm sorry, but that is how things are. You are one of them. That's right. Why are you doing that sort of thing? I asked Arumos while I was pinned down. To earn some money, of course. Originally we the officials of this had a certain degree of power on the city. We collect the damaged money, exchange it and recast it into a new decent money. We can freely handle this sort of things. Isn't one delicious, right? Arumos laughed wickedly. What a repulsive laugh. As I thought, no matter how I deal with it, the outcome is still delicious. Thus I started collaborating with a man behind the scene. But who would have thought that Princess Helena would have her eyes set on this matter? However, it looks like the wind is still blowing on my side. It looks like the princess has yet to know of this incident. In other words, I'm going to get rid of you here, and we will keep on collecting the copper coins, and it will be forged anew, and we will recover the amount of copper coin. We will make it through somehow. We will keep on doing this. I don't have any resentment towards you, I said in a voice so cold that I even surprised myself a bit. Arumos was surprised. What the heck is he talking about? Was what was written on his face. What do you mean by that? This is what I mean. I stand up. I was cuffed from behind, but I stand up normally. HNGG. I put some energy in my wrist and break the handcuff off. The cuff was made out of iron, but I managed to break it quite easily. Arumos was looking at me with his eyes bulged out. He's looking at me as if I had done something impossible. The look that he had on his face is irritating too. It looks like I better start from capturing you. Punishment time.